So next is, till now we were talking about the basic structure of the personality. What is it? What is ego? What is superego? That's all. So now the stages of Sigmund Freud's theory starts. Okay. So according to Sigmund Freud, okay, the entire person develops in these five. He has to pass through these five stages. Okay. One is the oral stage, one is the anal stage, phallic stage, latency stage, and genital stage. So every person has to travel through these stages. That is what Sigmund Freud says. Okay. So oral stage is from 0 to 1.5 years, anal stage is from 1.5 to 3 years, phallic stage is from 3 to 5 years, latency period is from 5 years to puberty, and genital stage is from puberty onwards. Okay, fine. So coming to the oral stage. What is the oral stage? Oral stage is nothing but a newborn, okay, a child interacts the environment through the mouth. Okay, the child, whatever he gets, he'll put inside the mouth. Okay, so that is why it's called as oral stage. That's why it's called as an oral stage. Okay, so interaction with the environment, that is through the mother's breast, is not only is the so that is the only source of food. Okay, when the child is crying, mother will feed. So what he thinks, the way he interacts with the environment is through the mouth. Okay, so represents her love and care and feeling of safety. Okay, satisfies the drives of hunger and thirst by breast or bottle feeding. So the only way he interacts with the environment is through the mouth. That is from 0 to 1.5 years of age. So you would have seen, no, at that time, most of the child will, whatever he gets, he'll put inside the mouth. When they start scrolling, whatever they get, they'll put inside the mouth. And when a newborn and they're lying down, if you hold their hand, the first thing what they do is they'll take your hand inside your mouth. So that is the reason. That's why it's called as an oral stage. Okay. So insufficient or forceful feeding lead to oral fixation. So that is the pathological side. That's what Sigmund Freud says. If you are not able to satisfy the stage, okay, some child won't be fed properly. Some child won't be, the mothers will be working, so they were not able to feed the child properly. So what will happen? That will lead to a pathology. That's what Sigmund Freud says, not me. Okay, that's what Sigmund Freud says. That will lead to a fixation. That will lead to a pathology. So if it is an insufficient or a forceful feeding is there, that will lead to oral fixation. Fine. So oral fixation is nothing but, nowadays some people will be keeping their hands in their mouth. They'll be biting their nails. All those things comes under oral fixation. That's what Sigmund Freud says, not me. Okay, there are a lot of lot of drawbacks for this theory. It's just a theory. So, but for your exams part, you have to write. Fine. So, if it is if fixed after weaned, okay, after weaning, if the particular oral fixation is there, the child will be over dependent and over attachment. They will be overly dependent on the parents. For each and everything, they cannot take their own decisions. They will be keeping on asking their parents' decision. They will be doing. So that is what the term is: oral dependence. I mean, over dependence and over attachment. Then the symptoms of oral fixation is smoking, then constant chewing of gums, pencils, nail biting, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so that is the symptoms of oral fixation. Then, what are the characters the child will show? The child will be either they will be excessively optimist or pessimist. It's all in both the directions. Either they will be highly optimist or highly pessimist. Okay. Then the child will be demanding. Okay, demanding child it will be, and there will be envy and jealousy. So these are the characteristics that is shown if the child have a pathological trait, or if the oral stage is not fully satisfied. Agreed? Okay. Now, the successful resolution of the stage will lead to trust on others, self-reliance, and self-trust. Okay, fine. So you'll start trusting. The first trust that is developed with the mother. You know that, okay, my mother is not going to cheat me. So that development of trust is because of the feeding. And why he is getting that trust is because whenever I am crying, she's the only one who is carrying me and giving me the food. Okay, so when there is a successful resolution, will lead to trust on others, self-reliance, and self-trust will be developed. So that is about the oral stage. Fine. Now coming to the anal stage. So anal stage is the second stage, that is from 1.5 to 3 years of age. Okay, so the stage of psychosexual development that is promoted by the maturation of neuromuscular control over the sphincters, particularly the anal sphincters. So till now, they don't have the control over the sphincters. So in this stage, what happens? The neuromuscular development will happen. So they will have a control over the splinters. Fine. So thus permitting more voluntary movement over the retention or expulsion of feces. Okay. So that is why it's called as an anal stage. So they are having the control over the splinters. Fine. Then the objective of the particular stage is period of striving independence and autonomy by voluntary control of the feces. Means he'll say that I know what to do. Till now, mother is carrying a what do you say diaper and all those things. He'll say I don't want. I know. I know when I need to go for toilet and all those things. So the control over the sphincters have developed. So he thinks that he's an individual. He has his own role. Okay. Then the pathological traits is obstinacy, stubbornness, willingfulness, fertility, and abstainness. So these are all the pathological traits, because some parents, what they do is for their convenience, they will make the child wear diapers, because you can see, after the age of 2 and all, no, when you start wearing the diaper, they themselves will remove it. They don't like it. My son does that. If we at the age of 2, when we were putting diaper for him, he used to remove it, throw it. Okay, so that is a pathological trait that is developed. Okay, so what is a character trait? Character trait means when this particular stage, what particular behavior you develop. Okay, what particular trait you develop. That is the development of personal autonomy. Means you are a part of the environment. You are having your own independence. Okay, you know how to handle it. Fine. So that is the development of personal autonomy will start developing. Now next is the urethral stage. So urethral stage is nothing but the transition between the anal and the phallic stage. It's just a transition stage, like how we say the in mixed dentation, you tell no, there is a intertransition stage. It's just like that. Okay, so the objectives are the same, similar of the previous stage, and the pathological trait is competitiveness and ambition. That is the pathological trait that will develop if he doesn't fulfill this urethral stage. And the character trait is the sense of pride and self competence. Okay, fine. So that is called as urethral stage. Now next is the phallic stage. So phallic stage is from 3 to 6 years. So 3 to 6 years, you can imagine child will be planning to, the parents will start putting him in play schools. Okay, he'll be going for the pre-KGs, UKGs, LKGs, and all those things. So the interaction with the environment, the attraction with the opposite sex parent, and envy and fear of same-sex parent means he will try to, if he's a he will try to resemble more like his father. So he thinks that mother will get attracted to him. Same way, the females will try to resemble like the mother. Okay, thinking that the father will get attracted to. It's nothing but it's just the love. That's all. Okay, so that attraction will start developing in this particular stage. So that is called as Electra and Oedipus complex. Fine. That is called as Electra complex and Oedipus complex. So emerging a gender identity. So he will know that okay, there is something called as females, there is something called as males. I belong to this particular gender. All those things will start. He'll start realizing it. I'm not saying in 3 years he'll realize, but the period from 3 to 6 years, he'll start realizing that. Okay. Then so in boys, if there is a phallic fixation is there, if there is a pathology is there, in boys there will be anxiety, then guilt, guilt feeling about the sex, fear of castration, narcissism, all those things will develop in guys. When it comes to girls, envy and inferiority will be there. That is the pathological trait. Then this is nothing but your Oedipus complex. So Oedipus complex I have already told. So how it get resolved is resolution forms personality through the identification with the father. Means after some particular age, he will start realizing that okay, this particular person is something called as a father. Okay, he is having his own role in my family. Okay, so that identification, the personality identification will start developing. So that is how it resolves. Okay, then the diminish the fear of castration. So this is the pictorial representation of your Oedipus complex. Okay. Now Electra is also the same. Electra complex is also the same thing. Fine. Now next stage is the latency stage. Latency stage is from 5 to 13 years of age. So what happens in 5 to 13 years of age? You will start more interacting with the environment. You will go here and there, meet people, familiarize with people. So you should be a non-figure to everybody, right? So the definition of this stage is so relatively quiescence or inactivity of the sexual drives, because till now we were talking about the sexual drives. You're getting attracted to the opposite sex, so that will be the diminishing in the stage. Okay, so no erogenous zones. The time between the resolution of Oedipus complex and puberty will happen. So the resolution of the Oedipus complex or Electra complex will start at the stage. Okay, so when it comes to the description, you will start making friendship with the same sex people. So if you have noticed at that time, the guys will have only friendship with the guys, girls will have only friendship with the girls. Okay, then exploring the environment, you guys will explore things, places. Okay, you will start mingling with a lot of people. Okay, exploring the environment will happen. Then adjusting to the social environment, you will start adjust yourself with the social environment. Okay, then development of the skills, all kinds of skills, the soft skills, your extracurricular activities, all those things you will start developing. Your mental skills, everything will start developing in this period. Okay, now coming to the character trait, integration and consolidation of the previous attainments means whatever you have attained till now, your what is it, in phallic stage what you have attained, in oral stage what you have attained, all those things you will start integrating and consolidating. What all things is required for me, what all things is not required for me, all those things happens here. Then the sense of industry, the capacity for mastery of objects and concepts, all those things will be there. A concept, if you know the mathematical concepts, anything for that matter, all those things will start developing in this particular stage. Now last is the genital stage from 13 years onwards to adulthood. Okay, that is the last stage. Last stage, what Sigmund Freud says. Okay, so the description is intensification of the drives, the normal sexual relationship, marriage, child rearing, the regression of personality development reopens the conflicts of previous stages. Means sometimes in some stage, some desires will be there which you would not have fulfilled. So that will regress in the stage. So you will go back to that stage. So say for example, A couple want to go to abroad. They want to go to UK or US, but they are aged. They are not able to satisfy that particular wish. Their parents, they are aged. So till now they were busy in their family. They're busy in teaching their daughter, son, etc., etc. So that desire is still there. So you will go that particular age also. They will plan. They go and satisfy and come back. I'm just giving an example. I'm just giving an example. Okay. So that is what is called as a reopens the conflicts of previous stages. Okay. Fine. Now the objective is ultimate separation from dependence on parents, because you will get married at this stage. You have to be independent. Yeah. Then the mature sense of personal identity, acceptance and integration of adult roles. You will have kids. You will have your own roles in the family. You will have your own roles in the society also. Okay. Then the pathological trait is identity confusion, because you don't know what to do. You don't know why I am here. You don't know why I'm studying this. You don't know why I'm studying BDS. All those things will come. So that's what is called as an identity confusion. Then the character trait is the fully mature personality. Fine. So these are all the stages of Sigmund Freud theory. So if you get a question as psychosexual theory, you need to write this. All the stages. I just the points. If you see in Shobharanan, that entire one column is given. So just write that. That's enough. But you should know what is this. Now coming to the limitations of the Freud's work. Okay. If you have listened to this theory, it's all pessimism. No. If you don't do this, this will happen. If you don't do this, this will happen. So it's more pessimistic and deterministic approach of personality. Okay, you cannot say that if this is not given to my child, this will happen. You cannot tell. All child is not made in one shoe, right? Each child has its own way of thinking. Yes or no? Yeah. Then it's a pathology-based theory. It's all negative things is being told. Okay, this will happen. If this is not there, this will happen. Okay. Then overemphasis on infantile sexuality. Okay. No control studies, poor research. There is no proper research for this theory. He has seen in his child what all things this child has shown. He has postulated as this theory. Okay. Then overemphasis on difference between men and women. That's also there. In boys, this is what is shown. In girls, it is what is shown. No. Okay. Then unconcerned with interpersonal relationships, individual identity, and adaptation over one's lifetime. Okay. This again, all negative roles is being told. All the interpersonal relationships has been overemphasized. That's not required. Okay. So these are all the limitations of Freud's work. So when you are writing an answer for this, it should start from the basic structure of the personality. That's from ego, superego. What is ego defense mechanism? Then you need to come for this. All these 5 stages and what are the limitations. So this is what we expect when you write the answer for this particular question. Fine.